with the database, create tables, insert data, select data, just all our database needs. Now MicroArm currently is on version 3 as of me recording this video, but version 4 is coming very soon, so I'm going to be using version 4 in this video, and maybe when you're watching it, it's already out. So to install version 4, database you want to use, you can install the specific database packages. In this case, we're going to be using PostgreSQL for this tutorial, but MicroArm supports other ones as well. So PostgreSQL and then PG is what you need. So why don't I do that? And, you know, locations. X2L for me, so script code every time we change the TypeScript file. Alright, so, and then here, again, I'm going to press Control Space and get MicroArm. So this is what we're going to create a MicroArm instance. So I'm going to say const arm is equal to control. Press up and running on your computer. And then you created a database called LeReddit or whatever you want to call your database. We're going to be starting from there. doing. So step one is we're just going to say yarn add typeorm and install this as a library. And I think you're going to be seeing that a lot of the concepts are exactly the same, but the syntax is just going to be slightly different. So here I'm going to import from typeorm. And just like how we set up a connection with microarm, we're going to set up a connection with typeorm. And the function here is called create connection. And oh, where's my TypeScript autocompletion? So if this ever happens to you, what you can do is very soon. So I'm going to be using version 4 in this video, and maybe when you're watching it, it's already out. So to install version 4, you can run yarn add and grab these 3 packages: CLI, core, and migrations from the @microarm. And then depending on what database you want to use, you can install the specific database packages. In this case, we're going to be using PostgreSQL for this tutorial, but microarm supports other ones as well. So PostgreSQL and then PG is what you need. So install these 5 packages. Go ahead and let this run. Then we can go ahead and get started setting this up. Now the other thing is I'm going to assume that you have PostgreSQL installed and you have it running on your computer. And then also if you want to go ahead and like set up so you have PostgreSQL things available to you in the command line, you can do that as well. That's very optional. Like for example, I have it set up where I can just say create DB to create a database. I'm going to call my database LeeReddit. But you can also do all this from a GUI if you want to, but I'll put a link below if you do not know how to configure any of this stuff.
transport management system lah. Yeah, but it's for church lah. I'm still trying out a new architecture, so I'm kind of studying architectures along the way.
And then you're also going to need to create a Postgres user. Just set the username Postgres and the password to Postgres as well. Okay, so you have Postgres up and running on your computer, and then you created a database called LeReddit, or whatever you want to call your database. We're going to be starting from there.
Reading documentations, it's a skill.
Unlike Mashbase, promise here.
Should I use ORM? Should I use Type-O? Hold on, I'm muting the sound. Read documentations carefully and know how to use external libraries. That's all. And try to find resources online. is this? Postgres. Using Postgres. Postgres, but in Superbase. I hope the music isn't too loud. I don't feel like bootstrapping the server.
And I'm going to say Lee Reddit. And here, if you need to, you can specify a username and a password. For me, it connects directly. It just uses the default one. Maybe I don't have one set. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure. But if you create a Postgres user, you can put the username and password down there. I'm going to leave mine blank because it works without it, so I'm just going to remove that part. I'm going to set the debug option.
Okay, fine. I shouldn't use Superbase this early. I should just follow completely. Okay. I don't need type on. I don't. I don't know, maybe not planning. I'm not sure if I'm sleeping or not. Because I'm going out early tomorrow, so I don't know if I should sleep or not. I plan to finish this bootstrapping tonight. So if I finish early, then yeah, can open the log file front end. Oh man, it's okay. Yeah, it still works anyway. Okay, close. Okay. Should have just used PG.
script code every time we change the TypeScript file. And then our second terminal, it's going to re-execute the JavaScript code that changes in the dist folder. And so that is going to be our setup for Node and TypeScript. Next, we're going to be setting up MicroArm. MicroArm is how we're going to interact with the database, create tables. Insert data, select data, just all our database needs. Now, MicroArm currently is on version 3 as of from the app for this your computer. And then also ahead and get started setting this up. Now, the other thing is I'm going to assume that you have PostgreSQL installed and you have it running on your computer. And then also, if you want to go ahead and like set up so you have PostgreSQL things available to you in the command line, you can do that as well. That's very optional. Like for example, I have it set up where I can just say create DB to create a database. I'm going to call my database Lee Reddit. But you can also do all this from a GUI if you want to, but I'll put a link below if you do not know how to configure any of this.
Why is this in freaking Windows? Text mode. Text. This is done. Everything using Vim.
This stuff. And then you're also going to need to create a Postgres user. Just set the username to Postgres and the password to Postgres as well. Okay, so you have Postgres up and running on your computer, and then you created a database called LeReddit, or whatever you want to call your database. We're going to be starting from there. So in our index.ts file here, I'm just going to at the top import from microarm. And we're in the and get microarm. Now this returns a promise, and I can see that by hovering over, and I can see the word promise here at the end. So it tells me it returns a promise. So I'm just going to await this. Now, you can set up top-level wait by configuring some things, but it never really works too well for me, so I still just create a main function, which is asynchronous, and I just call my main function. And then I'm just going to put all my code in this main function. So we're going to create microarm from here. And then I'm just going to create an object. And again, press Control Space to see all the different options I have available to me. And so here I'm going to say DB name. And I'm going to say LeReddit. And here, if you need to, you can specify a username and a password. For me, it connects directly. It just uses the default one. Maybe I don't have one set. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure. But if you create a Postgres user, you can put the username and password there. I'm going to leave mine blank because it works without it, so I'm just going to remove that part. I'm going to set the debug option to true, and I'm going to set the type to PostgreSQL. This is just the database we're using, and then this is going to log what SQL is being executed underneath the hood, which I just like to see for my own use cases, and also it's helpful for debugging and seeing if the ORM you're using is crap. So this is also something that I only really want to be true in development. So what I can say is instead of hard coding it to true, I can say process.inf.nodeinf. So this is a special environment variable, which is set to the string production when you're in production, or at least that's the best practice, and we're going to follow that. So what I can say is when we're not in production, right, I want debugging to be on. So that's what this means. And then I might do this in a couple different, locations. So I'm going to create a constants file that I put everything. And I'm just going to call this prod. And I said put everything. I'm not sure why I said that. Basically, I just wanted to abstract my logic here, so I don't have to type this entire thing every time. All right, so this variable is going to be true if we're in production. And then I can just say not prod. And this is a lot easier for me to type in that whole bunch. Wait, did my cursor freeze? There we go. And this is a lot easier for me to type in this entire thing every time. All right, and this auto-completed for me or auto-imported. If not, you need to add your own import. And how I auto-imported it was, had my cursor at the end, Control Space. And then you see it has this thing, I just press enter. And it pops in there. And you can also do command period or control period. And that will bring up a separate little menu that does the same thing. All right, so that is our DB name, our type, and debugging. The other thing we need to add is an entity. So these are going to correspond to all of our database tables. So let's go ahead and create a table. And so I have a folder here that's already called entities. I'm just going to delete it since you probably don't have one. And so I'm going to recreate this. So I'm going to call this post.ts. And I don't know if I explained this before, but when I create a new file and I put something and then slash and then a file name, that actually creates a folder and a file at the same time. So just a little shortcut. So entities, folder, and inside that post.ts. So it's gonna be our first database table, it's gonna be a post. Now I'm gonna just head over to the docs for MicroArm and copy paste how you create an entity. So there's a couple different syntaxes you can use for this. This is one of them. Now we're gonna be using TypeGraphQL, and TypeGraph.
It's so great.
GraphQL works really well with classes. So we're going to actually use the class decorators that they're using here. So I'm just going to copy this entire book example they have, and then we're going to just butcher it up. All right, so paste this in here. And I didn't save this file, so I'm just going to save the index. Real quick. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just clean this up a little bit because we don't need half of this stuff. We're gonna come back and deal with relationships later. Relationships are overrated anyway, right?
Relationships are overrated.
Okay, so title, updated at, created at, and ID are the 4 fields I'm gonna leave here, and these correspond to columns. So we have 4 columns in our database table is what's gonna be created here. And I'm just gonna hit command and then period hit here. You can also click the light bulb if you want to, and I'm gonna import all these.
one. Oh my god. String. I just want to extend this then.
And I'm going to rename my class to a post. And then this just decorates and tells MicroOrm that this is a entity, right? And this corresponds to a database table. And then here I'm saying this as the primary key. It's just an ID. And we have create at and update at, or just
post. My typing is getting bad. Oh my god.
good fields to have when you create. Create any kind of entity, and this is just kind of some standard fields, and this is just a date of when the object was created, or the row was inserted in this case, and then we just have a single title field. And then property just decorates it that this is just a regular column. Like if I remove this, this is now not a database column, just a field in the class. And then this is a special little hook that's going to create a date every time we update, not just to make sure that it gets a new date. All right, so once we have that, go over here, and I can say post. Again, I just pressed enter and it'll auto import that for me. Okay. Now let's say I want to do some things, right? Like I want to create a post, insert into the database. So one way I can do that is I can say create, and then I can create a post object. And here I can do control space, see what I have access to. All these should just like default get created for me except for the title, so I'm just gonna specify title here. Now, how MicroOrm works is it's kind of doing that whole like heavy ORM thing where you create posts. And let's say I want over here, that's their column. Like if I
create the ad, update the ad. Why create an ad though?
if I remove this, this is now not a database column, just a field in the class. And then this is a special little hook that's going to create a date every time we update. And that just make sure that it gets a new date. All right, so once we have that,
Initializer.
special little hook that here, like I want to create a post. And here I can do control space, see what I have access to. All these should just like default get created for me except for the title, so I'm just gonna specify a title here. Now, how MicroOrm works is it's kind of doing that whole like heavy ORM thing where you create posts, and this doesn't actually do anything to the database. Like if I hover over this, this is literally just creating a post. This is equivalent to me saying like new post, my post. So this is, right now, this does nothing with the database. Nothing's going on here. These two statements are roughly equivalent if I were to create a constructor, but I don't like creating constructors and doing that whole OOP thing. I'm not a fan. So I like to do as little of that as I can, just work with like regular objects, which sounds kind of weird because I'm using this, but the main thing I actually like about MicroOrm and this sort of thing is setting up my tables like this, and then mixing that with TypeGraphQL is nice. And then as we're gonna see in a second, creating migrations is smooth as well, which we're about to see. Okay. But anyway, this creates literally just an instant.
I'll be right back. And I always did that. I'm sorry.
Since a post, nothing else is going on. But to actually insert posts into our database, we say orm.m.persist and flush, and then we just tell it what we want to insert into our database, and we can await this.
Yeah, again, so you have to commit that flush.
So yeah, it's using the syntax. It's a little odd, I'm not gonna lie to you. They also have, if you want to, I believe it's called native insert, yes. And then we could have just said post and then our data like this. Now the difference between this and this, actually let me show you the SQL, right? This will actually just SQL 2. All right, we'll be able to look at the difference in SQL and you can see which one you like better. And then that's pretty much how you can decide how you want it. The main difference though is we're gonna be access to all the post fields, whereas this one we're not. But we'll see that in a second. Now we could run this code, but it's not going to work. So, I mean, I can show you real quick if you really want. So I can say yarn dev, and boohoo, it crashed, guys. Now, it doesn't actually give a really good error here. I think it kind of swallows the error because we get this unhandled rejection warning. So we can get like maybe like a tiny bit better of an error if I did catch. All right, so catch the error and then just print out the error. Right, so we can see it's giving us a much better error now. The severity of the error is error in positions 13 and parser open table, right? Like this is actually not that much better, as you can see. I'm not sure why they don't give us a good error. But basically what's wrong is we haven't created the database table yet. So we tried, you can see the SQL, it's trying to insert into a post table, but we haven't actually created a post table yet. So that's what we need to do. And to create our post table, we are going to set up the CLI so we can run some migrations. So if we just go to MicroOrm, I'm just gonna go to using the CLI, and we need to set up the CLI, so not this one. Setting up command line tools. So this is under installation usage as well. So step number 1, we kind of already did. We have MicroOrm available to us. Step 2 is in our package.json to add this config. So let's add this config. Basically what it's doing is we're just telling it the location of our config file. Now we haven't created this config file, but we're about to be. So notice it also dist and source. So it's going to toggle depending on whether we're using JavaScript or TypeScript automatically, which is nice. And then yeah, I can use TS Node, that's fine. And let me just copy the name of this. So we're going to create this in our source folder now. And we actually just are going to copy this. And we're going to say export defaults. And then command period to import all of it. And then I don't want duplicates. So I'm going to just import it and stick it here. Now, fun times with TypeScript. Our types do not line up. Yeah. So let me tell you a fun lesson about TypeScript. You can kind of glaze over this if you're new to TypeScript. This is for you kind of advanced boys out there. So what's going on right now?
Bodoh. I know I should export it. RM config.
Is if I say bob.type and I hover over it, you see what the type of that is? The type is string. But we don't want this to be type string. We actually want this to be type LeReddit, and we want this to be type PostgreSQL, right? If I said DB name, you see how this is a string too? So one way I can do that is by casting this to a const. And if I hover over the DB name, see how the type changed? Like it now says LeReddit. So the type got more specific when I cast this to a const, right? It's actually this, it's not just strings. And so that's the difference. And when I do that, it's actually gonna be happy.
So new to TypeScript.
Right, it's now happy because it was expected. Those types, it wasn't expecting a string. That's just a little TypeScript thing that you'll run into sometimes when you have objects like this. So you can make it more specific, or this is more specific than the type string. It's the string PostgreSQL is kind of how I think about it. Now we can actually make this even better if you want. All right, so this was my intermediate TypeScript tip. I'm now going to give you the advanced TypeScript tip. So this is pretty good, but the problem right now is if I like control spaces, I don't get any auto-completion. Like it thinks that's a totally fine property, which it's not at all. So how can I tell TypeScript to tell me the right things? Well, really, I just need to be passing in whatever this init function accepts, right? So how can I do that? Well, I can import it and just grab the type. So why don't I do that? Microorm. So instead of const, what I can say is parameters. So this is a special TypeScript thingamabobber, and what it does is you can stick a type in the brackets, and it's going to tell you all the parameters for it. So I can say type of microorm.init. Init.
I just hope I'm not losing out. I still feel that I'm doing something wrong.
So microorm.init is our function, and I'm just getting the type of the function. Because when you're dealing with TypeScript, you have to deal with types. So the type, and I'm getting the parameters for that type. Now parameters returns an array, so we just want the first parameter. And there we go. And now it's all happy. So don't worry about this. This doesn't make sense. It's a little bit of black magic, but basically what it equates to is we got the type that init expects for its first parameter. Right, and see, I thought this was going to tell me I was a bad boy, but then I can at least control space and see that we have all these autocomplete options. So it looks like this type lets you pass whatever we want in. So it looks like we could have done that. But yeah, there you go. You can pass in and now get a little bit more auto completion. Okay. Is this? No. Oh, that's a shame. They should actually get strict on what you can add here. All right, so now we can access this info.
I don't know, man. It's my first time doing a backend server, which I should have asked my friend for advice before starting to go into this stuff. Maybe I should take a break and do some front-end work, right? Let's see what front-end works do I have. I have a project coming up, which this project is quite a huge one, and tomorrow morning I'm gonna be meeting the guys to implement this. Their ranking system might be doing it Firebase, DigitalPass, Firebase as well with Auth, I guess. Then all of these are just front end stuff. I just stick to this first. I just stick to this first.
From the CLI.
Actually, if I don't stick to this, then I don't know where I stop already.
That was the whole point in adding like a separate config file. There's one other thing. I want to do
Oh, I didn't save that, right? True. I just have to start with this right now.
migrations. So we need to actually set up on migrations. So now we can.
I wonder what do I do if I run this. Do I have the script set up? Yes. Okay, that one's done. Trying to load an set type module appears. Can I find module server? Okay. There is import statement outside the module. There's an import statement outside the module. Let me see what you did. I don't think I saw your package JSON. Can't even start the server. We say yes module what? Am I not?
Created that column here is actually a JSON-B column, and I don't want it to be a JSON-B column. I want it to for two things: path and pattern. All right. So I'm gonna copy these.
Oh yeah, this is package.json and the config part. Which is this too? Yes. Okay. I don't really need to see those right now. I don't need to see COTS config. S6, yes. Python variable S6. Shit, how did I do this again? How did I fix server again? Let me see. Wait. What did I do for my projects? index, export default index picture. Okay. Server, yeah, st index src index.ts. I'm correct. I'm so done. 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 I'm so done.
All right, and now in here, I can just say console.log.
Stack Overflow coming to the rescue. My God. My God. What other projects do I have? I'm done. I'm done with this. Let's start new project. No. And create. Start. And create. Should I use something now? For you. Excuse me. Why do you have so many Golang stuff? Next, we have Tailwind template. Let's use this template. Like YW like chaser. You happy now? You happy now? Yeah, I'm recording a new project. Okay. Then I just have to clone it down. guess I'm getting bad at coding. Recommended detected.我深入你的太阳。哦，还没有睡，现在发现你人还在。OK，start a new. Okay, it's working. So let's see requirements. First, we need to try having React Web Paper. You feeling codes? What kind of codes? What kind of codes? Bruh, you showing me so many stuff, but then you don't show me how to install this. Oh, okay. There's a doc for it. Oh, okay. Oh. Junior stories under document. Document name. So what's your progress? really using classes. I don't want to use classes, man. How should I do all this? Okay. Okay, so everything my document says. Wait, where did I run this? The root default is not an X. Document is not defined. Really? 真的啊? I didn't know. Okay, it's under render, get initial props. I'm not using get initial props though. And I got 7 place. Bruh. You 就好了，你就好了。Need to make a check. Need to make a check. How do I do this check? Okay. Document. Return document. Return type of document. Not equals. If type of document is not equals to undefined. If type of document is not equals to undefined, I'll show this. Else, I will just show loading, I guess. Okay, let's see. Gotcha. Okay. Spirit, then what should I do next? I got one of my other screens 坏了，我另外一个 screen 坏了。Stand right. Okay, what did I just do? Okay, so at least I got this ready. Where's the documentation again? No, I don't want this. Public folder. Public. don't understand. Where should I go from here? 为什么那么susah？为什么那么susah？你跟我讲。Wait, what is this request for? Pumping, is it? I like this food request. At least we are. Yes, man. Add a boilerplate so I know how to bootstrap. And you freaking have React. You so pro, man. Okay, you added a service hook, which I don't really need. Can you help me? Help. Okay. Let's go back. For the Spotify playlist, 我随便找一个 lo-fi 的 playlist 把我where was it? 只是随便找一个 lo-fi 的吧。Wait, let me try deactivating my webcam and see if it works. Wait, yep, transition over. Okay, let's see if this works. Suddenly the frame drops. Okay. Go the radio. Oh, I can see. Yeah啦，你以为我真厉害咩？自己弄咩？当然随便找的啦。Run race. Oh, I don't have this image. Okay, no wonder I don't have that. Okay, wait. See, sometimes when you inspect a page, you know what is wrong. I like it. Okay, wait. Where's the freaking marker? I need that image, but where is that image? Let's see. I don't think it's under components though, but let's see. Yep. Wait. Let's search. Reset hero CPI frame. Example image. Hey, you don't even have the freaking image here. You expect us to follow? Why? Why did you do this to me? Did this happen to me? I made no mistake. Hero marker. Wikimedia Commons. Wow. Hero marker. Probably this is a common stuff to know. Common stuff where everybody asks. else is still here? What the hell is still here? Except for Payun. Because I was like, who is this Vivian? I just realized, oh, it's Payun.
Hola, estás en Emilius BGS. Hace unos días me enteré de las buenas noticias para la realidad aumentada en web. ArcGIS ahora está en su versión 3 y agrega nuevos elementos que se trabajarán de la mano con la plataforma iframe. Me refiero a la capacidad de crear experiencias inmersivas con image tracking. Durante estos minutos hablaremos al respecto y haremos un breve recorrido sobre los ejemplos. ¡Comencemos! En la noticia aprendimos cómo este nuevo código se puede emplear para trabajar fácilmente experiencias inmersivas. En esta página también indican las herramientas y plataformas que podemos utilizar como GitHub Page y CodePen, y por supuesto sus ejemplos para iniciarlo. En este archivo de CodePen veremos primero la librería iframe. Luego existirá el código de estilo. Luego aparecerá el script de iframe arc NFT. Este es el nuevo script que conectará toda la experiencia de la realidad aumentada. Líneas más abajo aparecerá el mensaje de loading. Luego aparecerá el script iframe arc NFT, que será la información del tracker llamado T-Rex. Por último, veremos el archivo 3D LTF, con sus propiedades como escala, posición, entre otros. No te preocupes, queremos aprobarlo. Más adelante crearemos el proyecto desde cero en Glitch. Ya usé esta plataforma en otros proyectos WebArt. Está siendo mi favorita. Esta es una plataforma para desarrollar experiencias web que es capaz de publicarlas sin problemas. Además, es altamente colaborativa. Muchas empresas y organismos educativos están utilizándola. Otra página que debes visitar para este tutorial es ir hacia el sitio web oficial de ArcGIS. Aquí encontraremos la información completa de esta librería libre y open source. El proyecto se inició gracias a Jérôme Etienne. Entre los beneficios que existe al usar ArcGIS es su capacidad de difundirse entre millones de dispositivos sin necesidad de descargar aplicaciones. Más abajo veremos la librería que se usará para crear experiencias relacionadas a Image Tracking y Location Based Art. También encontraremos los requerimientos para lanzar la experiencia, que son mínimos en realidad, como que tu smartphone soporte WebGL y WebRTC. Te recomienda usar.
Okay guys, guess I'll be going off. Thanks for joining in, for whoever's joined in. I know I didn't do anything much, but I will try to do the same thing tomorrow.